We cannot overlook the fact, like I said, the Bears were down 3 starters in the secondary. Their top 3 corners were down. There is an issue from a personnel standpoint. The pass rush should not be as bad as it is. The pass rush should not be as ineffective as it is. There's no way in the world the Bears should have sunk as many resources into this defensive line that they've sunk into it with the trade for Montez Sweat and the subsequent re-signing, the signing of Grady Jarrett, the signing of Dio, and the drafting and development. And don't want to put too much on this guy because I do think he's one of the better players on the defensive line. But the drafting and the development of Gervon Dexter, this front 4 should be better than it is. Based off of what was invested in them, they should be better. It looks like at this point, I can't even say it's super early in the season anymore. We're 7 games in. But at this point, the Dio signing looks like an absolute bust. It looks like when you're watching a game from a defensive standpoint, when you are barely, if ever, hearing a player's name called, that's telling you to some degree that this guy has not been very effective. Let me just tell you, Dio Odeyingbo, through 7 games, y'all, he has a total. Now, he had 4 tackles yesterday, which is the biggest game he's had all year. But through 7 games, he has 8 tackles, 1 sack. He has not forced a fumble. He has not recovered a fumble. He has 3 run stuffs. There is no way that is sufficient. Okay? No way that's sufficient. I do think that Montez Sweat has stepped up and begun to play better. He had a very athletic and effective sack yesterday. I believe he's second in sacks. Gervon Dexter is actually first in sacks. He has 3.5, which for a defensive tackle is really not bad. Through 7 games, 3.5 sacks is not bad. Montez Sweat has 3. You can make an argument that you definitely want that to be more. But I do think he's played pretty well. 6 tackles for losses. He has 2 passes defended. He has 19 tackles. He's forced 2 fumbles this year. I think he's been, especially the last 2 to 3 weeks, I think he's picked it up pretty well. But unfortunately, they're not getting anything else from anyone else. Dominic Robinson got hurt early in the game, couldn't come back. So that was another injury that the Bears had to deal with. It's defensively, man, we are mangled up. So there's a focus now, a newer focus. They still need to focus on the DB. I still think they need help there. But the Bears have to also make up their minds this year. Are we really trying to win or see what we can do this year? Or are we looking at this as, hey, let's see how it plays out, but we still want our mind to be focused on future development? I hear a lot. I saw someone in the chat, Bears Capo. I appreciate you dropping in, brother. He said we have a Caleb and Poles issue. And Ryan Poles is certainly not above criticism based off of how he's drafted and the trades that he's made. But I don't think all is lost, and I don't think everything that Ryan Poles has done has been bad. I do think that this upcoming draft is very important because he should be allowing Ben Johnson to kind of shape the team in the image that he needs. I don't know if they have. I don't know. They don't have the bodies from a edge rusher standpoint, from a defensive tackle standpoint. Signing Grady Jarrett was probably at this point, that's probably the worst thing that and Chase Claypool was the worst things that Ryan Poles has done. Those are the 2 worst things. Those 2 things probably hurt the Bears more than any other decision that he's made. Roma Dunze has been great. I still believe Caleb will be fine. Cal Monunga has been pretty solid. I think DeAndre Swift has been solid. as well. I think a lot of people were down on him, but I think we're seeing that it's not the run game issue was never DeAndre Swift's thing. I think Luther Burden's going to be fine once they get an opportunity to get him involved. I don't. You could make an argument maybe signing DJ Moore to that huge extension was a problem, but DJ Moore was fantastic for 2 years or so before. Him and Caleb don't have the greatest amount of chemistry. Caleb's primary chemistry seems to be with Odunze. Colston Loveland, we're still waiting for him to pop out. He looked a little bit better getting prime tight end reps yesterday, but not quite what we want to see. Not yet. So we still have to wait for that a bit. But I'm not as down on Poles as everybody else, right? I'm perfectly comfortable with calling out his issues. The Claypool, like I said, the Claypool trade was trash. Grady Jarrett signing was trash. Oh, I left out Dio. Dio signing, absolutely a bust. Trash. Definitely. But you also have to, when you evaluate a general manager, you also have to call out the wins, right? The Rome Odunze signing draft pick is a win. The Darnell Wright feels like a win to us. So there's some things that have happened there, and I still feel like Caleb Williams is going to be fine. He hasn't been good the last 2 to 3 weeks, and if to be honest, he hasn't been good. But everybody's different.